Okay, so in this particular problem here, we are told that we have f of x is a series of points here. G of x is another series of points. H of x is x squared. P is x plus 1. Here's a graph of Q. Here's a graph of R. And so we have to, all these little things didn't transfer well into my document. These are all of. So f of g of 1 means we start at, this is the same as saying f of g of 1. So we start at g, we find 1. Well, 1 produces a value of 2. The output is 2. So they were saying f at 2. F at 2, I go to f. The x value is 2, and the output is negative 5. And so the first value is equal to negative 5. Going to b now, it's doing f of 1. So I start here. F at 1 gives me negative 4. And so this is saying g at negative 4. Going up the page. And then g at negative 4 produces 10. So this is equal to 10. Go ahead and try the rest on your own. This one here, if you try it out, g of 2 produces 3, and 3 produces 4. D part now is h of p of 1. Well, this is h of p of 1. Well, p at 1, here is p. P at 1, if I substitute that in, it's 1 plus 1 is 2. So it's h at 2. That is 2 squared. Here's my h. So I get 4. Similarly, I go the other direction. P of h of minus 2. P of minus 2, negative 2. If I plug negative 2, not into there, but rather into h here. I plug negative 2 in there. Negative 2 squared is a positive 4. And then I get 4 plus 1 is 5. And finally, the last one is q of r of 3. So q of r, 3 produces 1. So this is q at 1. And then q at 1 is this value here, which is equal to 0. And so whether we have tables or equations or graphs, we can find this composition of functions. Okay, looking at this one now. This one says that q of x is equal to f of g of x. We want to find f if g is this. If q of x is this scenario. So what this means is I have f of g of x equal to root x minus 1. And so f the g of x is x minus 1. This has to go into some function for x, so I get this. Well, f of x must be square root of x. Because if I take this value here, this value, and I substitute in for this x, is how I get that. And so now there's no real calculations to do, it's just thinking. You have to think what's going to make it work. And so you have to think of the in-between steps. This one here, f of g of x, well, it has to be 3x. So I'm going to plug x minus 1 in, and I know I need to get a 3x when I'm done. Well, I know this is going to be substituted in for an x value. And if I get a 3, I'm going to need to get a 3 somehow. But if I expand this out, that's 3x minus 3. And there is no minus 3. But if I add 3, put a plus 3, those cancel. And so I'm going to have my f of x is going to be 3x plus 3. Because if I take this x minus 1 and substitute in for this x, it will become 3x. And the rest I will leave for you to do.